Okay, drawing 10, oblique cone. Probably remember this from level 2, using radial line. We were able to bring this up to a common apex here at the top, and just getting a true length and drawing it that way. And then we were dealing with the truncated one there as well. But we're going to use triangulation on this, just to show you it can be done. So if you don't have enough height in the shop or the plate you're working on, then you can triangulate this. So it's just another way to do it. So let's go ahead and have a look here. So we're 100, 105, 50, and 35. So let's just double check that. First, we're going to do a baseline. Just the standard here, up 10 millimeters on the baseline, and on the vertical on the one side, we're just going to go 10 millimeters as well. Now let's quickly check the object here. So we're 100. We got 50 for the radius there. We're 105 for the height, and we're 35 for the small radius. Okay, that pretty much gets that. And then cut these into thirds on each quarter. So again, we just have the 6 divisions. Over here, true length diagram, just going to come over 100 millimeters there, just do a vertical, and then just bring the height here over to the top. Over here, we're going to have the pattern. We're going to go this way with it. We're just going to do the 1/2 will be this half here, and we'll just start here and go off. So we're going to just do this one a little bit differently than last time, but very, very similar. Still have to use the diagonals, still have to use the straights. So let's go ahead and letter number this. So let's go A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. No real difference there, it's just straight. Okay, so let's start on A1, and let's go with that. So instead of populating down here first, which sometimes causes a lot of confusion, we're just going to start to go step by step here. So let's go ahead and take A1. This one here is A. This one is 1. And over here is going to be G down below and 7 on top. So we're going to start with the A right up to 1. This will be A here. And we're going to go up to 1. Okay, there's 1. Okay, let's do some quick math here. (100 times pi). That should be 314 divided by 12. (26.2). And then we got to do the 70. And we've done this before. 219, basically 220. Let's divide that by 12. Oh. Divide by 12. We got 18.3. Okay, so let's go ahead. Got 18.3 here. There we go. And then from, let's just make sure here. No, want to make sure we get on the correct end here. Strike an arc. And the big end here, 26. Strike an arc. Okay, so let's just give this a little bit of thought here before we take off. Now, we can either come from A up to 2, or we can come from 1 down to B. It really doesn't matter. basically at the end you're either coming up to 7 or you're coming down to G. It really doesn't matter at all. No real preference. I'm just working off the center over here. I don't know if there's a more, I don't think there's a more accurate way, but A1, I don't know. We got starting point down here, make more sense to go up to 2, really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and we'll go A2, so at the end here will be F7 at the end for the diagonal. I'm not going to use this one, I'm going to use this one because it's a little bit quicker. This one has the levers on it. So A2, the diagonals over here. Let's put an A2. I guess being a little higher up than 10 would have been a little beneficial. You're a little tight on the top there too. So. Okay, A2 here. There's the top. This is a diagonal coming over. And we're going to do one at a time here. So A2. And we'll find out which way is faster. There's 2. We got to get down to B, so 2B. That's a straight one. Come over here. Sometimes it's just a little, maybe less thought doing it this way. Kind of makes you do one thing and then another thing, but I like being on the production line. You can line up as many things as you can. Sometimes that's faster too. But when you make mistakes, that's not very fast. Okay, so we need to arc off here. Is it faster to get more done and make the odd mistake? Or is it faster to be a little bit steadier and make no mistakes? That's always the million-dollar question. Okay, so B up to 3. Right there. B3. Remember the last one I was making lots of little mistakes just on the way through for whatever reason. That's why I thought I would change it a little bit. When something's not working, you change it. 3 down to C. See how we're going over? You only change something when something's not working. If it's working, leave it. C3. Come up to here. And then 3. Down to C. Now we got to step off here. Down below. That's where this. Maybe I should come off the A. That's where we originally came off of. So go back where you originally measured from. Okay, C. Obviously we got to go up to 4. So let's take that. I don't know, I'm finding this a little easier. I don't know about yourself. And then what's a diagonal, right? So this is a diagonal. Ooh, is that ever close? Pretty much the same as B3. So I'm going to call this C4 as well. go. And then we're A, B, C, D. So 4D here. These are going to get pretty close over here too. These are just going to become smaller. So D4. Sorry, my writing's going to get a little small down here. It's going to get a little cramped and crowded too. Not much I can do about that. Okay, now 4. There's D. Double check. Back up to the top. There we go. Now what are we doing? Because we're always going back up, right? So D to 5. That's a diagonal. Sometimes what you can do is if you need to draw a line up or something like that, to or point to it. So you don't lose where it is. Okay, so that's D5. There's D up to 5. 5's coming A, B, C, D, E. 5 down to E. That's a straight one. The straight one because they match, right? Same quadrant. Or section, I guess we should say. E5, and these ones are getting smaller. E5. Yeah, what's faster, eh? Doing this or radial line? Again, like I said, it's you know, this takes up less room. I don't need as big of dividers. So there's a bonus for you. Still should work out the same, you know, as long as this is working for us. Do this one too. The radial line we would have to measure along there with a ruler to get the length anyway. Okay, so we're E, we gotta go to 6 because F7 will be our last one. And we're just going back and forth here. So straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal, straight, diagonal. E6, that's a diagonal. Yep, sorry, I just thought about that one for a moment. E6 there. Coming up to 6. And then we're coming down to 6 to F, so that one's pretty short. That's a straight. This one over here is just consistently getting shorter. F6 for that one. There we go. So 6F. There's F. Gonna need your dividers again. Find out which one you ended with last. Back up to the top. Okay, F to 7, and then down we go, and we're almost done. Doesn't take long. Diagonals. Looks like there's more diagonals. Maybe one more. F7. And And here we go, F7. F7. I'm marking this every time too, right? 7. I'm trying not to get lost. Easy to do if you don't mark things down. It's like the math. You gotta be clear, keep everything organized, keep everything in line. You don't get mixed up. I think this went much better than the last one. All still worked out, but less mistakes. Okay, let's connect these. That one's already connected. So if we would to bring this one all the way up and this one all the way up to it, we'll be able to get a radius out of that, right? Because that's how you do it for a radial line. So that would work. That's the same as if you came up here. You just need a true length and then go from there. Okay, let's just snake this in. Anytime you think you're just a little bit off, let's maybe make sure your snake is straight. Give it a little stretch. Pull it tight there before you get going. It's got a little more curve on here. Line that up the best you can. There we go. That looks pretty good. Are you happy with that? Need more clamps. Alrighty, pretty happy with that. Okay, let's go ahead and these would be our bend lines. Obviously, again, your bend lines would be dictated from your material thickness, what dictates your V-block opening in your press brake. Generally we go half the V-block opening just plus a 1/4 inch. So sorry about that, the video just cut out, we lost some film there, but here's the completed pattern. We were just finishing up the bend lines here, 30 degrees for each one, just because it's divided into 12, so 360 divided by 12. We're shearing here and here, we're burn lines here, don't have to put any little tabs on or anything. Everything's identified, quadrants, center lines, quadrants. Again, just making sure you're going through the list here that we got, and then just the pattern there. For this pattern here, actually I just went to design to fab on this one. This is a full pattern, and sometimes on the just design to fab it's hard to get the seam where you want it to be. Sometimes it just chooses it for you. So anyway, I'm going to redraw this on the AutoCAD so then we have a little bit better of a pattern than that one that you're able to print off. This is the design to fab one. And then you'll be able to check yours as well, so as long as it all lines up and the length is good, and you can double check this with your ruler. Again, you need to have that dimension correct. So if this one was done with material thickness, everything would be to the mean on this one, and then everything's laid out to the mean dimension to get your stretch out and then going that direction. Okay, that's drawing 10. All right, good luck.